Off-season push week 3. What's up, everyone? It's been a bit since you've heard from me since the Texas Pro, and I wanted to get back to just doing some vlog sessions with you guys. And I have a lot of the content on the channel now be very education focused, so I want these sessions just to share myself with you, just be raw training, kind of get away a little bit, not feel like I need to educate so much in my own training, and just give you more of my journey, and then you have the education stuff on the channel anyway. So today I am about 3 days now away from going out to Olympia with Sean. So you probably saw him coaching Sean Carita now, and going to bring him in for the 212, and to be a awesome look for him. So these are some of my last sessions out here before I fly out. If you saw us training together, this is a similar push session that I've run with Sean. I think it's a great one if you are struggling with chest connection. So we'll get into that piece right now. But I am now, I guess I'm 11 weeks post-show, something like that. But 3 weeks into bringing PDs back up. So weight's starting to climb, training recoveries, like training's getting progressive, recovery's getting a really good spot. And sitting right at like 250, 251 now. So it's all moving in a good direction. So let's jump into the session. We'll just train, guys. Might give you a little bit of tidbits here and there of like why I'm doing what I'm doing. But for the most part, just enjoy the session. I start this session with a prime pec deck fly and right into a prime reverse fly. Again, these are like based off order of what I need. So when I have like a pumped up rear delt, like super wide, and exactly what I need on stage. So training rear delts first makes a lot of sense for me, and it doesn't take away from my pressing. Also getting a lot of stimulus first from my chest in the pec deck fly. And I have this on a cam setting 5. So it kind of loads more mid-range, which is more ideal. Like I don't want to load LinkedIn first of my session. And also I could load shortened, but I feel like this is a kind of a happy balance between the two. And for this one, just go back and forth right between adjusting the seat up, moving the handles in, and knock out 3 sets of each on this one. This also gets me, I get really good connection with my pec first, and helps cue me how I need my torso and arm angle when I move into my pressing. So for doing a fly first, a lot of stimulus for the pec, but also helps cue me for what I need for my pressing when I struggle with keeping chest engaged in it. current diet setup is right at, I just made a food increase. Weight was getting a little stagnant. I'm at 550 grams of carbs, 330 protein, and 65 grams of fat on my train days. Carbs dropped to 400 on my off days with like 10 more grams of fat, 75 grams of fat. I'll usually do 5 meals. If I wake up really early, I will hit a protein shake and do like 3 grams of fish oil just to like spread out my meals a little bit more and lower protein with my other meals. It's because it's like a bigger gap by the time I normally get my meal 1 in, which is my pre-workout meal. Like today, so it's just like it's gonna sound like I have like all this flexibility. I don't, it's pretty regimented. So like today, meal 1 happens, then it's like an hour and a half later I'm training. So I did add more into my intra as a carb increase. So I'm doing 35 grams of carbohydrate from Carbolin, and then 15 grams of EAAs during, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which is like 500 milligrams of sodium. And then on the way to the gym, I have 15 grams of Carbolin in my pre. So about 50 grams carbs just in that little peri-workout window. And that was a lot of the increase that I made. So pumps have been great, and pumps aren't everything. I just have a video coming out soon around that. Like, what does a pump mean for hypertrophy? But spoiler alert, it's still all about mechanical tension in the muscle, and your focus should be on execution, full range of motion, hard sets, then enough volume that you can recover from. That's kind of your main big tickets to growth. So on this Smith press, he's doing like a 10-degree incline, if you want to call it that, but for me that's a good like overall pec development spot. So I'll have my flat fly, kind of hit more like kind of costal fiber, lower pec fiber. This is just more overall now. Just do 4 sets here, get all my volume in this spot, because man, it's like bang on for me. I've never, it's funny because it seems like I've never had this much pec involvement in all my years of training. Like, just to have a really, really good setup and connection right now. A lot of the really helpful cues has been like press, not just with the outside of my hand, but pressing like in with the thumb and keeping pressure on the thumb while I'm pressing keeps so much more pec involved. And not even worrying about the lockout either. Someone asked, what is my pick for the 2025 Open Olympia? Who's my #1 spot? Nick Walker. That's my pick. Let me know down below. Give me your top 3. Who are your top 3 picks? I'm gonna have some upsets. I'm gonna go Nick, Hottie, Derek. So that's like, for one, I think Nick is gonna be the most improved. And the reason why I think Nick can win is he can win all the side shots. He can win all the back shots. He can win the most muscular. I think you could give an ab and thigh to him for certain, compared to certain people. And that already is a majority of the shots. I think his condition muscularity is just going to be overwhelming. So I think he has the most improvements to bring and showcase on stage than the other guys. And I just like Nick. From like, and how he executes bodybuilding aspect, I'm part of the fan base because of that. So this next combo I'm doing prime lateral raise, have cam setting 3, so it's loaded lengthen, and I pair that with a daisy chain, if you want to call it a skull crusher, just like kind of an overhead extension. I love these daisy chains. I got off Amazon, so they're long enough so you can spread them enough, unlike like a real narrow rope, and also unlike a skull crusher, where the wrist limitation ends up kicking your elbow out and kind of loading the side of the elbow. These just line up mechanically really well. So I do 5 sets of laterals and do 4 sets of this tricep extension. You notice I do a lot of set work just in one exercise. Is from an efficiency standpoint, like how many lateral raise variations do you need when the side delt just raises the arm to the side? So same with the tricep. I'll do like 4 sets, doing this kind of overhead variation, and my other push day I'll do 4 sets with the elbow down. It'll fully train all heads of the tricep that way. So I don't like to overthink tricep work, but this has replaced my JM press because I get so much more out of that, and the JM press is an awesome for training the long head of the tricep. All your pressing, like when you're going through shoulder extension and elbow extension at the same time, since that long head crosses over the scapula, it kind of is the opposite action of it, so you end up getting a little bit more of the medial lateral heads of the tricep. Not to overthink it, guys, but I would make sure you have in your tricep work something where the elbow's stationary by your side and overhead and extending the elbow. That'll fully take care of all your development needs. My last chest exercise, it's kind of a weird one, a single arm cable fly and for upper chest. And so why I do single arm so I can kind of palpate that upper pec so I can really get in the right position to do it. It's a very hard spot for me to connect with. End up easily bringing a lot of front delt in, but if I do it this way and moving from like a down position to an upward angle, that, man, I can light up my upper pec. It doesn't take a lot of weight, especially at the end of the session here. And just do 3 sets. So this session is 10 sets of total pec work. Every 3 days I hit that. So this is definitely the most volume I've done for chest in the off season and able to recover from it. So I'm doing 2 on, 1 off. So I have an off day, then train push. Then just keep rotating that way. So it's like push, pull, off, push, pull, legs, off, push, legs, off. So I am recovering and have the most volume for chest and the best connection. So I'm hoping this all adds up to a lot of pec tissue added next time on stage. Okay, let's get Renee's pick for the 25 Mr. Olympia, the Open. Who do you have, Renee?
I have Nick Walker.
We're a Walker Nation household, I guess.
I'm just excited to see Nick on stage, whether he wins or not.
Yeah, it's been a couple years of just mishaps, and when he's someone that's missed on stage, that really shakes it up. I think, well, we both think.
I think he's people's choice.
The people's champ, and very likely to be the champ. We don't know. So last thing in the session is a superset pneumatic ab crunch, which this is one of the best ab machines I've used. Just have it on the, you can set it to where both lower and upper moves, just lower moves. I set it where just upper moves. I feel like I can lock my hip in more and just go through lumbar flexion. And it loads really nice. It's like loaded more lengthened, lines up when you get to like a peak ab contraction. Then I do 4 sets of that, and I superset it with just a plank on the ground. For one, the plank only gets harder as you keep going, but also what I need is ability to hold an isometric contraction, and at the same time I'm blowing out my air and pulling in my abdomen, especially my lower abdomen. So I want to be able to gain more control under loading, pulling my waist in as small as possible, and that's, I think, will lead to better stage control and strength, because I have a hard time. I lose my ab contraction a lot of times on stage. And maybe it's because I had like a slight hernia and some of the tissues not get it innervated properly. Hard to say, but either way, through this, like I can get an awesome, like full contraction through lower all the way through the upper ab. And so, yeah, just been doing that, running that on the end of my push days. All right, guys, that wraps up today's session. Solid one. Actually, today, Renee back here, is going to be our sushi day. So we try to once a week go out and have some sushi. Going to meet with some friends tonight. And it's one thing it fits within my calorie allotment. It doesn't change for the next day for me. I get no sauce, and calories are at where we're at now, easily fit it in. One thing that is cool is Elite Pro Meals in San Antonio. The guy does a phenomenal job with meal prep. So for the Olympia, Renee and I usually bring out our own food. We cook it, we pack it all up, but man, he like did my chicken for me. It's smoked chicken, vacuum sealed in 2-pound packs. So it makes it, for one, vacuum sealed, really easy to pack. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna take chicken pre-cooked and make it really easy. So the thing is, traveling as a bodybuilder, you can stay on track. So I'll have some that I'll freeze, some I'll leave thawed out. I'll put them in my my check-on bag, with some like freezer packs with that. I'll take my rice cooker still and dry rice. I'll cook in the hotel room. That's not a big deal. Probably bring some frozen green beans with me, and then nut butter. So easy way, I can like match all my macros out there, no problem. So you can travel and bodybuild without any detriment and nail your meals still. But next week we'll be in Vegas at the Olympia, and hopefully I can still vlog out there and send you a video.